The airport view from the city side, showing the parking lot. So let's go right inside the airport. And here you have the driveway into the departure area of the airport. And while driving through here, you see one spot is for taxis. It says no entry. So only taxis are allowed to come here. And the other side is for private persons and private taxi. By private taxi, I mean, Uber and boat taxi, Yandex taxi. This is different kind of private taxis. And here also there is a big parking lot, and you can see that little glass. It's like a waiting area for your taxi, if you're waiting for a taxi. Here is a pickup point for private taxis as well, if you order Uber or boat or stuff. And now we go into the glass. It's like a waiting area. Also you have a parking machine, and then to the departures. Now we're walking through the departure area. Like I said, Tallinn Airport is, if not the best small airport in the world. It's really clean. Everything is pretty much where it should be. I mean, you really don't have to struggle to get around, even if you find yourself in the airport for the very first time. So let's head to the departures. While walking through this angle of the airport, you see where the departure gate is, some bank automats, as it's called in Estonia, where you can take cash if you need, and then you see the check-in counters. There are various airlines who use this airport. There is SAS, Lufthansa, Air France, Turkish Airlines, but here is the check-in counter. And on the left, you have different offices of these airlines there. Also, you have the baggage wrap area along this side as well. Moving on, that's the baggage wrap area, and walking along the check-in counters. Today you see the airport is empty. It's Corona era. We have 4 flights scheduled for that day, but there is nobody there. It's really a bad time for the aviation industry, and Tallinn is not exempted. So moving on down to where the arrival terminal is, or the arrival side of the airport, because it's only one airport. There is no different terminal. But we will stop. Let's take you downstairs. We will be back with the arrival shortly. Let's take you downstairs. We will walk through the toilet areas and into the underground parking. The beautiful thing about Tallinn Airport is that you can park your car for weeks. So if you are off to a trip in Germany or even outside the EU, you actually can drive your car to the airport, park in the underground parking for as much as you want, and when you arrive back, you go down to take your car. So you don't have to do the taxis and moving of your things. This is one thing that is so awesome, and there will always be space, because it's not so populous country, and these facilities are not overstretched. So here is the parking lot. It's quite big, but this is the overview from my view. You have the first level and the second level and the upper deck. So, but of course, if you're parking your car for a long time, you want to use this underground parking, so you don't have to take a heap of snow or have to wash the car immediately you get back from your trip. Really big parking, a nice concept. So let's head back in. Going back through the same door that we came from, and this time around we will be going up to the arrival section of the airport. So up the escalator, going to the arrival section. If you arrive at Tallinn Airport, you will be seeing exactly what I'm about to show you. So on my right, you can see the arrival section. So you're coming out from the baggage claim, you will be coming out from this door on the right with the pictures of some babies. You will be coming out from this door on arriving to Tallinn airport. So here goes the door. You come out from here, move along the railings, and peradventure you have friends waiting. They will be opposite this place and waiting for you. They are allowed to come this close as well. They will be around this area. That's the waiting area. If you have friends coming over, or if you have a friend picking you up, they can wait right there. And if you don't have a friend, if you want to take a taxi, just go outside the gate from there, and you have these airport taxis waiting. If you want to use the ride-hailing service, you can download the apps on your phone, order the taxi, and you will go to the other side, as explained in the beginning of the video, where private taxis come to pick you up. So, leaving the airport, you have this RE kiosk for if you need to buy a SIM card, some little food, or anything that you might need in the city. Basically, you can get it from the RE kiosk. If you want a map or something, you can always get it from there. So we're walking outside the airport, and there is this little tunnel that leads to the tram station, the bus stop. So if you don't have a taxi, you don't have a friend picking you up, if you would like to get to the city with the use of the public transport, you will exit through this place. And just as you're going down the escalator, there is a ticket machine. We're going to see that in a couple of seconds. So you can buy your ticket for the tram, and it's also possible that you pay directly to the driver. Luckily, in this video, we see that the tram is just arriving to the airport. One of the most fantastic facility in Tallinn airport is that they actually have a cheap connecting public transport to the airport. Those are the machines where you can purchase your tickets for the tram and the bus going to the city. So unlike different airports that I've been, you actually have to spend a lot of money or probably commute hours before you get to the city. With the use of the tram, it's around 10 minutes to get to the city center, and it's very cheap, €2. That's like ridiculously cheap. And just before the tram line, you see here money exchange and car rental companies, in case you have that booking as well, or you would like to use that service. So here you have a screen that shows you all the timing of the tram when it's arriving and the bus, so you don't have to stand in the cold. You already can see the time, and trust me, they keep to time, at least 95% of the time. So here is the tram. Welcome to Tallinn. It's really clean and decent, trust me. And that is also a public bus right there, so you can take whichever if you know where you're going. And for you to know, you can always use Google to check the location, and Google shows you what tram, what bus you should take. Another fantastic thing about Tallinn airport is that there are connecting buses to other parts of Estonia from the airport. So it means that you can get a bus to Tartu, to Pärnu from the airport, which is quite good. So you don't have to go to the city to get to another city. You can actually depart from the airport. If you have your bus ticket booked already and you arrive at due time, you can actually leave to Tartu by taking the bus directly from the airport. So just right behind the tram stop is the bus station. Here you see it. Here you have all the timings, and you can always check when your bus arrives. It's really cool. When it's not snowing, when it's not cold, the outside is also beautiful to take pictures, as there are fountains written in different countries right about there. But now it's covered with the snow. But in the summer, you can take pictures.